How do you create a flawless check? First, grab the spaceship model that's been soaking in the bathtub, gently take off the logo from the tail wing, and then attach it to the check. After that, put the check in the Bible and apply firm pressure. Leaving it overnight, a counterfeit airline paycheck is prepared. The next day, Philip goes to the bank to cash the check, and surprisingly he manages to exchange it for dollars. After experiencing success, Philip starts to replicate the process by purchasing model airplanes in bulk, and continuously churning out counterfeit checks. However, what no one saw coming was that Philip's identity as a pilot was actually a fake. His interest in becoming a pilot began quite by accident when he met an actual pilot and was completely captivated by the profession. Back pilot surrounded by flight attendants and held in high regard by society. Philip also aspired to become a successful individual in order to gain more knowledge about the profession. A Philip in disguise, he introduced himself as a student reporter and interviewed an airline manager. During the interview, he successfully discovered the essential requirements for pretending to be a pilot. He needed an airline employee ID, a license for operating a space agency, and ultimately airline attire. He reached out to the airline's uniform supplier, stating that his pilot uniform was lost. Along with, he successfully bought a new uniform. So, every time he cashed a fraudulent check, his identity as a pilot allowed him to fly under the radar at the bank. However, Philip soon faced a new challenge. He had no knowledge of how to operate an airplane. So, he seized the chance to fly back on a plane with the airline, aware that he would be on the flight, set up a special pilot seat for him. But Philip didn't know where his seat was. So, he stepped into the cockpit, and while talking to the captain, discreetly looked for his seat. At that moment, the flight attendant unexpectedly walked in. He became a department head overseeing 6 interns and 20 nurses, and even impersonated a commissioner of the US Secret Service, fooled the federal agents who were after him. He was 16 years old, and here's the twist. This is a true story about him transferring schools. On his first day of school, he was picked on by a school bully. When he arrived in class, he got teased for dressing, which sparked an idea for him. He decided to transform. He walked around and wrote his name on the board. The students were really impressed by his voice. Then Frank pulled the school bully over to put him on the stage and had him read his French textbook out loud for everyone to hear. His bad pronunciation caused people to laugh. Then the real substitute teacher showed up, and once again, Frank stepped up and told the ladies directly that he had been filling in. I'm waiting for the principal to find out about it. Frank has been teaching French for a week now, and he even held a parent-teacher conference yesterday. His mother was left speechless. Being French, she taught Frank how to speak French when he was a child, but her son likes to make fun of his classmates. On the contrary, his father and Frank shared a laugh together because they found humor in his son's deception.